Chapter 5 Understanding Genders. Introduction. Human beings, like all other animals, have two genders, the male and the female. Nature has devised ways because of which the population of males and females are nearly equal in numbers in the world. While biological differences determine sex, it is the different roles that society has assigned to them that differentiate genders. By nature, different type of roles are adopted by some species of animal world. Similarly, human beings from prehistoric times have had different roles to play for males and females. While the females had to look after children and stay back to keep the young safe from the wild animals, the males went out into the jungle to hunt and get food for them. Over a period of time, this difference in the traditional roles between the men and women has caused a serious divide in the society. Women are expected to conform to the traditional roles. Perception about women. In many societies, women considered to be weak and men tend to call them so and dominate them. In many cases, women are not allowed to study or take up professional jobs because many people still expect women to stay at home and look after the family. They cannot accept women having professions and being independent. Look at the following examples, you would realize that women are not weak. In the villages in the northeastern states or the Garhwal, the women go out to work in the tea gardens. They work to get food and water to homes, carry loads of firewood on their heads, while the men may be just grazing goats and cattle or idling away fishing throughout the day. Even in Rajasthan, you can see women folk carrying loads of water over their heads for miles to their homes. In nearly all farms in any part of the country, you can see women taking up equally strenuous work such as sowing saplings in the field and then cropping the harvest. In construction activities also, women carry bricks and other such manual labor which is par with the men. Boys and girls growing up differently. The roles of the males and the males were so defined that from early childhood, they are given different types of toys to play with. The girls are generally given dolls and kitchen sets to play with, while the boys get cars, planes, mechanical toys, etc. Boys are allowed more freedom. They could play on trees, play outdoor games and move around, while the girls were expected to give a helping hand to the mothers and in the process of learn domestic chores. Preferential treatment to male child. The trend of preferential treatment to boys in the family was also due to the age-old Indian tradition of dowry. During marriage, large amount of money and goods were given to the groom and his family in the form of dowry. A girl born in the family was considered as a future liability because her parents had to give dowry. On the contrary, the boys were expected to continue to live in the family and not only earn and contribute to family property, he was also expected to bring bride and thereby get lots of money and valuables into the family. The boys were considered to be the future of the family and expected to continue with the family name and traditions. He was considered as a helping hand to earn more for the family. This was the reason why the birth of a girl child was not welcomed in families, while the birth of a male child was welcomed and celebrated. In many cases, women were mistreated, denied nourishing food and considered as a burden. They were denied education on the ground that it was no use to them. In fact, the boys were told that the household jobs be left to the women folk and they were not expected to do any of these while at home. The men started considering themselves superior and dominated the social scene. Efforts to improve the condition of women. Efforts were made by many social activists from the 19th century onwards to improve the condition of women. Many social activists, both male and females, worked hard to change the thinking among the families and get equal status to the women. The noted names that took up this cause were Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Govind Ranade, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Tarabai Shinde, and many more. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was an advocate of religious and social reform. He took out excerpts from the Vedas to give women an honorable position in society. He was also opposed to the practice of sati. Widows were burnt at their husband's funeral pyre, as it had no sanction in the ancient text. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was in favor of women's education and also preached in favor of widow remarriage. As a propagator of education, he emphasized on the education of women. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He played a very important role in raising the status of women in society and emancipating them from the social evils prevalent in the society at that time. He belonged to Bengal and was in favor of women's education. He also opened many schools. He founded the Hindu Balika Vidyalaya in Calcutta, now Kolkata. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar's efforts led to the enactment of the Widow Remarriage Act in the year 1856. Even he worked against polygamy. Dayanand Saraswati. Swami Dayanand Saraswati was the founder of the Arya Samaj. He launched an attack on numerous social evils prevalent in society like sati, polygamy, caste system, inferior status of women, etc. Mahadev Govind Ranade. He was an active member of the Prarthana Samaj. He was associated with the Widow Remarriage Association. He also worked towards raising the marriageable age of women, their education, discouragement of polygamy by men, and abolition of the caste system. Tarabai Shinde. She hailed from Pune, Maharashtra. She was a famous activist of those times and she championed the cause of women's equality and protested patriarchy and caste in the 19th century India. She is famously known for her book Stri Purush Tulna, a comparison between women and men. Her thoughts and words challenged the customs and traditions which were the cause of oppression of women. Begum Rokia Sakhawat Hossain. She was a creative Muslim writer and a social worker in Bengal in the early 20th century. She is most famous for her efforts on gender equality and other social issues. She established the first school primarily for Muslim girls at Patna and Calcutta. The present scenario: education. For the last many years, the CBSE results of class 10th and 12th had girls performing better than boys in academics. They have even excelled in colleges and university education. And wherever they got an opportunity, they have proved that they are no less than the boys. Even in sports, the girls have fared well. They have brought laurels in various sports, including the tough ones like weightlifting and wrestling. Society. The society world over has realized that the age-old social trend of women being confined to home is a social evil, and now they are being given education and opportunities to come up equal to the males in all spheres that they wish to join. In India, the education system has even provided separate schools for girls. This was done so that those parents who felt that it was unsafe for girls to be out of homes in the company of boys could send their daughters to school. Even for higher education, there are some specific colleges for girls only. Personality growth. The education plays a big role in improving the state of the women, especially against discrimination. They can understand their rights and can insist upon their parents to allow them to go in for higher education and jobs. Education instills in themselves confidence and belief in their own capabilities to meet the challenges of the world. Education not only helps them in jobs and other worldly issues, it also makes them more aware at handling domestic chores if they wish to remain at home. Government policy. You would be surprised how a scheme known as Midday Meal Scheme, started by the government, which was primarily aimed at improving the health and attract children to schools and ensure attendance, turned out to be a boon for the girl child. Those parents who could not afford to give a proper meal to their children started sending them to school so that at least they could get a free meal. Gradually, the girls who went to school started learning and seeing things from a new perspective and have chosen to continue education at higher levels. Constitutional rights. The Indian Constitution has given them equal rights in all spheres of social being. There are many laws enacted by the Indian Parliament to give them equal opportunities and status. It is a crime to commit any atrocity on women in India. The government has instituted various policies which have improved job opportunities for women. The law inheritance was also amended and women were given equal rights in inheritance of property. They are given reservations so that they can earn their living with dignity and even support their families. Women have excelled in nearly all fields where they have ventured. They have been presidents, prime ministers, business leaders, astronauts, doctors, lawyers, police and administrative services, and now even the armed forces. They have excelled in literary works, social work, and in the field of art and culture. Here are the names of a few women who have held jobs or positions which were earlier thought to be men's domain. Srimati Pratibha Patil, Srimati Indira Gandhi, Miss Kiran Bedi, Miss Kalpana Chawla, and so on. Economic independence and growth of women. The social order is gradually changing, and women are stepping out of the houses and taking up even those professions which were normally in the male domain. They are into engineering, banking, finance, and even in all three wings of the armed forces, Army, Navy, and Air Force. While they have been working endlessly from ages, unfortunately their work was never valued. Value of domestic work. Women's contribution of housework did not fetch any monetary reward, and therefore it never got in status and value. Think about all the work that traditionally women do at home. You may have seen it in your family. Many women work for hours so that the family members get their food on time, ensure that the clothes are washed and the house is kept clean. Also, in many households, the responsibility of raising children also falls on women. The love and care given by women cannot be repaid in money. Many men also feel it a part of a woman's duty to do housework and do not give any value to it. Crèche. Government has ruled that all organizations who have more than 30 female employees will run a crèche. In rural areas, they have set up Anganwadis or child care center on the same lines so that women could go to work. Many companies, wherever possible, have allowed female employees to work from home on computers, etc., or to work at flexible hours so that they could meet their domestic responsibilities as well as work for their professional enhancement. Family support. In many modern families, family support. In many modern families where women have taken up professional jobs, the men also contribute equally in domestic work like cleaning, dishwashing, cooking, taking care of children, etc. The trend is catching up in India, especially in the cities where a large number of women are taking up jobs and men have started giving them equal status.